I present a tale this afternoon. Not of my own making. I heard it from a kinswoman who heard it from afar. So I pass it on to you. The story of Mishka, the village idiot.
Oh.
The Pope was having a bad year. People were complaining about indulgences again. The Holy Land was at war again. It had been raining and his arthritis hurt. It was a bad year. So His Holiness decided to do what Christians tended to do in those years, blame it on the Jews. So, as a pretext, he declared a debate should be done between himself and the scholar of the Jews' choice. And so this summons was sent out. Well, the scholars, the learned, the wise of the Jewish community knew this was a trap. For they were scholars and learned and wise. Somebody said, send Reuben, he's our best Talmudic scholar. Reuben said, oh, no. Send Joshua. He's much better in the Kabbalah. And so it went, round and round and round, with each of the scholars and the learned and the wise desperately trying not to be the one picked. Until finally, Mishka, the village idiot, had had enough. He says, enough! I will go. So he packed up his meager belongings and traveled off to Rome. Well, he arrives at the Vatican, and there are two large bronze doors, and he bangs on one with his walking stick. And a prelate opens the door and says, I am Mishka. I am here to defend the merits of my faith. He's issued in with all ceremony to a great hall, and the Pope comes out on the balcony in full regalia, the white robe, the mitre, the crozier. He holds up 3 fingers. Mishka holds up 1. He takes a step back. He makes a sweeping gesture with his arm. Mishka goes. Now the Pope looks worried. He reaches to a table on the balcony beside him, and he holds up an apple. Mishka reaches into his traveling bag and pulls out a matzah. The Pope is astonished. He says, Mishka, you have won the debate. You may go home. No trouble shall befall your people. So Mishka bows and walks out. Well, of course, he was rather slow in his walkings home, and the news of their salvation arrives before him. Well, he returns to his village, and his friends and relations there go, Mishka, we heard what happened. What happened? Well, Mishka goes, the Pope said I had 3 minutes. I only needed 1. He told me, get out of here. I said, I'm staying right here. He showed me his lunch. I showed him my lunch. He said we were okay and sent me home. Meanwhile, back in Rome, the cardinals are quizzing His Holiness. Why did you let him go? Well, I held up 3 fingers. The Trinity. He said, God is one. Well, that's the essence of the Trinity, is the perfect argument. He said, God rules over all the earth. He said, what about the devil and hell? Well, we're still debating that. Couldn't argue that. I showed him an apple to prove that the world was round. He showed me a matzah to prove the world was flat. I had to let them go. So the learned, or the scholars, the learned and the wise realized God had done 2 things for them. He had saved their community, but he had also humbled them. And Mishka was no longer called Mishka, the village idiot. He was known simply as Mishka and was honored for the rest of his life.